They have been trying me, so when I leave, I'm gonna shake the table a little bit. I'm just letting y'all know I'm gonna shake the table. I don't know if it's gonna be this year or next year, but I'm gonna shake the table before I leave. Hey guys, welcome back to another Chit Chat Get Ready With Me video. Today's video is going to be me just getting ready, showing you guys how I got this makeup look, as well as using the Makeup Forever HD Skin Essentials palette and my thoughts on it, and also answering y'all questions that y'all asked and sent in on Instagram. So thank you so much for taking out the time to send in those questions. I got a lot of questions about how am I? Are you okay? How are you mentally? How is your heart? How are you doing after the breakup and things like that? And I'll be honest, I'm still in the grief stage because it's a loss. It's the death of something. It's the end of something. And not just a relationship, but a friendship as well, because that was my best friend. So thank y'all for being concerned. And since I am grieving, of course, what better way to thank BetterHelp for sponsoring today's video, because you know, relationship trauma and relationship PTSD and infidelity is definitely something that will leave an emotional scar on you. And what I can appreciate about BetterHelp is that, you know, when I reach out to my therapist, she responds quickly. I can talk to her via chat, text message, or video call, or over the phone. And she's always readily available. Even in emergency cases, which I feel like I should have reached out to her instead of going to the internet. But you know, we live and we learn. You gain wisdom from experience, not age. So yeah, lesson learned. You know, keep it off the net, keep it off the internet. Absolutely. But you know, we're here, and yeah, we're healing, and I'm okay. I will say, if you are going through something similar and you can relate to what I just recently went through, because we were just in a Mercury retrograde and there were a lot of relationship issues going on. I seen a lot of people going through breakups. Like, I saw another girl on TikTok that was going through something similar after she posted her guy. A whirlwind of things came out about him. So we all going through it, girl, not just me. But if you find yourself needing somebody to talk to, instead of taking it to the internet like I did, talk to a therapist. I think that might be the best way, because I truly did not think that I was gonna go viral for getting cheated on. Like, I really did not. And the great thing about BetterHelp is once you sign up and take the quiz, and you can be very specific on what you're looking for in your therapist, you're usually matched within 48 hours. And all you have to do is click the link in the description box, or go to betterhelp.com/Peyton.charles, and you will get 10% off your first month of therapy. So yeah, let's get into the chit chat. Get ready with me so I can show y'all how I got this look. I also even showed y'all how I curl my hair, which was super easy. I feel like I'm finally getting it down how D curls my hair, and I'm so pleased with this color. Like, so good. So yeah, let's jump into today's video, and thanks so much for watching. Okay, the star of the show is going to be this Makeup Forever Professional Paris palette. I have mine in the shade medium, and I want to play in this and see if it is worth the hype, because I believe I spent $80 on it. I got it off of TikTok, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, let me try, because I've always really liked Makeup Forever products. So yeah, this is going to be dedicated to this palette. We're going to try to do our whole face, because that's what it claims to do. You can do your whole face with this one palette. Now, eyebrows, lashes, mascara, of course not. Even your eye makeup, probably not. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for a natural beat. So I am going to use some of these colors on my eyelids and see if we can get an eye look from that. And I'm just combing out these tangles in this hair, and it is breaking. But yeah, today is going to be a chit chat. Get ready with me. So let's get into the first question. We had a lot of questions. Like, if you can see, I screenshot all of these, so we got to get through these. Okay, first question is, if you were to describe your life in one word, what would you say? I would say funny. Funny. My life is very funny, and I know I'm going to be talking a lot, so I do have me a cup of tea, and it's in my Pisces cup. It has my name on it. This was from a Peypal. It says, I smile like I've never cried. I fight like I've never lost. I love like I've never been hurt. And I live like I die tomorrow. Catch. We have a cup of tea because we're going to be sipping some tea, okay? So, yeah, I would definitely say funny. Hilarious. Hilarious, yes. How I would describe my life in one word would be hilarious, because, you know, every time something odd happens, something weird happens, something off the wall, I always say, that's hilarious. Like, I find humor in a lot of things, even when it hurts, but I always say, that's hilarious. Like, literally, anytime something happened to me, anytime, anything, my first word is, that's hilarious. So, yeah, funny or hilarious. Alright, so I have been loving the Tatcha Dewy Skin moisturizer. This is replenishing and plumping, and it's antioxidant rich Japanese purple rice, and it makes your skin so dewy, and I absolutely love it. And I feel like this is the perfect product to use in conjunction with this cream palette, because, you know, if you're dry, cream products will definitely put you on blast. Okay, so make sure you moisturize really good. Then I'm going in with the Dior Glow Veil. I feel like this, along with the Tatcha Dewy Skin, is just going to be perfect for a good base for this palette, because we want it to just smooth over the skin, okay? Just smooth and glide over the skin. So prep your skin really good. So I usually start my face with doing my brows, and I'm using a brow pencil from Janique Janae Cosmetics. This is from one of my Peypals beauty brand. I've had this for a while. I always carry it with me when I travel. I just really like the pen. It rolls up. You don't have to worry about sharpening it, and it's just a really good brow pencil. So I will have that linked in the description box, as well as all of the other products that I use. The next question is, do you think losing a parent makes it hard for people to show love to a significant other? I don't think losing a parent makes it hard. I definitely feel like whatever issues that you acquired from your, you know, your parents in their parenting style will leak over into your relationship and cause issues. For example, abandonment issues. If you have childhood trauma, you've experienced like physical abuse in some way, abandonment issues and things like that, that will cause issues in your relationship. And it typically stems from, you know, your parents and their parenting style, or lack thereof. I do feel like that causes issues in a relationship, but not so much just losing a parent. That's grief, and how people handle grief is how people handle grief, you know what I'm saying? But like, I don't really feel like grief will cause an issue per se. I mean, if the person is grieving, you should be able to understand that they just lost someone who means a lot to them, and just be there for them. But to say that it would cause like issues with your significant other, like how you behave and interact and how do you react to certain things in the relationship. No, I won't say that. So we got a lot of colors here. I feel like this color is gonna be best to clean up my brows, so let's try this one. And I was right. Preston was down there barking. I am gonna take just a little bit of this and mix it in to see if we can get our actual color to our skin. Yeah, so mixing those two up was actually ideal. Oh yeah, that color came out to be perfect. Like mixing those two colors together, perfect. Okay, I ain't mad at the brows. I ain't mad at the brows. Okay, next question. Do you ever regret being so transparent and open about your life? Yes. Yes. Yes, times 10. I have definitely learned my lesson with this last situation. I did not think that I was going to go viral for being cheated on. Like, that blew me. I definitely, you couldn't have paid me. I did not think that was gonna go viral. And when I say viral, I mean like viral. So many reaction videos, so many think pieces. People actually started YouTube channels to specifically talk about this situation. I had no idea that was gonna happen. You couldn't have paid me. You couldn't have paid me. So with that being said, I've definitely learned my lesson. I think that there is a happy medium in what you should share, what you can share online without it being without you being scrutinized. Because I mean, there's a lot of people that share things online, story times online, and yes, it makes you extremely relatable because people will put you on a pedestal thinking that you're perfect and nothing bad happens to you, and that's not reality. That's not true. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think I've ever painted myself to be this person where I'm so perfect and things don't happen. I recall in one of my older videos, my older vlogs, that, you know, my vlogs will be similar to watching Sex and the City because I have issues with dating, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't put out there that I meet great men every time I go outside. Every man that I meet is just this great rich prince that wants to, you know, sweep me off my feet like Richard Gere did Julia Roberts in Pretty Woman. It's just not reality. It's not my reality. It may be the reality for some, but it's not my reality. And you know, I was even talking to Aaliyah about this. Where are my eye palettes? You know, she was just giving me words of encouragement, like, you know, we've all been through it. You know, it's almost kind of like a initiation type of thing. Like, you really ain't seen YouTube and what it's really like until you have some sort of like scandal that goes viral. And she was like, you know, the best thing, you know, if this happens in the future, because, you know, you never know when you're dating. She was like, use that as a testimony later on. If you decide to share it online, use it as a testimony later on after you've went through it, you've grown through it, you've healed through it. But one of the things that I absolutely regret is that I posted and I talked about it and I shared it while I was healing from it. Like, that just made it 10 times worse. You know what I'm saying? For all parties involved, you know what I'm saying? Like, not just me, but everybody, because there were people that, you know, did think pieces on it. The Peypals, you know, had a lot to say to them in their comments. There were people that just mentioned it and they got backlash just talking about it. I got backlash, but I also got a lot of support. It was just bad all around. Like, and I really wish that I could go back in time and not share it. You know what I'm saying? I wish I could have just talked to my therapist. But I think another reason why I shared it online is because I felt like if I share it online, I wouldn't allow myself to double back and try to work through it. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't question myself. I wouldn't blame myself. I'm using the Vise Art palette. I will try to link this palette because I absolutely love it. But I don't know where you can get it. So, I mean, I think I got this palette in a BoxyCharm box. And I love it. I've had it for, I think, 2 years. And when I do my transition color, I just press it into the eye. I don't do the windshield wiper motions. Like back in the day, when you watch makeup tutorials, they would always say do windshield wiper motions, which I'm not gonna lie, windshield wiper motions definitely give you a good blend, but you can just like tap it into the eye too and get a pretty good blend that way as well. The next question is, what's the thing you love most about yourself in your life? What I love most about myself is my resilience. I'm always admired and people comment about that all the time, and I don't even really notice it most times because, you know, like right now, right? I guess a lot of people that would be in this situation would disappear for a while and not still post. And then there's me where, you know, I'm going through it and, you know, not going through it because I'm very blessed. But, you know, I'm experiencing, you know, I'm in the midst of a heartbreak, right? And I'm still posting. I'm still showing up. I'm still, you know, laughing, smiling, cracking jokes and stuff like that whilst being in the midst of a very painful situation. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of it, I'm not just experiencing the pain from the betrayal, but I'm also, you know, dealing with, you know, the things that I read about myself online, the videos that I'm seeing pop up and stuff like that. And so I would definitely say I really love my resilience. And what I like most about my life is that I've worked so hard to get where I am. And I'm so grateful for where I am, and I can inspire people to be resilient, push through. If you work hard, if you put your mind to something, you can definitely have all of this. You can have more. You know what I'm saying? I don't get online and try to belittle anyone, even if they are being negative towards me. I still don't do them how they do me, and that's what I love about myself. I love my resilience. I love my heart. I love my soul. I love my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I worked really hard to get where I am, so I'm not gonna let anybody deter my plans and make me feel less than for whatever reason that they, you know, whatever they think about me. It's none of my business. It's none of my business. But if you come over here bothering me and you try to make it my business, then yeah, you gonna get the business, because it's still very much Memphis over here. Yeah. And I don't know if they're gonna be cool to come out of a bag on me, baby, but I'm in my hold my poodle era.
Hold my poodle. Hold my poodle. Hey, yo, what's up? Y'all got a problem? Y'all want some of this? You want some of this, punk? What? What, boy? What? I take the both of you. Cut it out.
You might not see it, but it's stuff going on, and I'm very much in my hold my poodle era. Okay, so then we're gonna go with the double take awake, and I'm just gonna use the liner side to line my eyes. Okay, so one of the Peypals has a lash brand, and she sent me some lashes. It says, prepare to be obsessed with the contents of this parcel. And I want to say her lash company is called Tatcha Lashes. So she sent me a lot of the individuals, but she also sent some strips. Okay, the lashes are done. So what I did, I used the tail end of the strip, and then I used 2 12s and 1 10 to finish the inner part of the eye. And now we are ready to do the face. Okay, so for a palette like this, I think that this brush here would be most ideal. So we're gonna start with the concealer area, and I'm gonna use this color right here. So this is the color that I mixed with that other color to do my concealer under my brows, and I blended it with that other color to make my foundation shade. The next question is, do you feel like you're too accomplished in life and giving masculine energy for men? Not at all. I definitely don't feel like I'm too accomplished, because it's more things that I want to do and get done, and more goals that I plan to achieve. So no, I definitely don't feel like I'm too accomplished. But do I give masculine energy? I think I do. Yeah, I definitely think I do, but I don't think men have a problem with it. Like, I mean, they around their homeboys 24/7. So if I give homeboy energy, you gonna like being around me 24/7. That's how I look at it. I'm not gonna change myself in how I behave and how I act, because I've always been a tomboy. So, like, first of all, though, I am so impressed with this palette, y'all. Like, it blends out so good. But yeah, even in high school, like, I hung around a lot of guys because, like, I wanted to know, like, you know, I had a younger brother. I ain't had no older brother. So I basically taught my younger brother, you know, the ins and outs of, like, girls and stuff like that. But, you know, hanging around guys, I was with the basketball team because I braided hair in high school. So I was braiding, like, everybody hair, the football players, the basketball players. And, you know, you get to be in a room. It's almost like going to a barbershop and just, like, hanging out and listening to men talk. You get to be in a room and hear what's being said. So, you know, it puts you up on game. And whilst I feel like I was very knowledgeable about, like, guys in high school, and with that being said, like, I avoided being in a lot of, like, messed up situations. I avoided having a bad reputation in school. I avoided having, you know, a lot of heartbreaks in high school and stuff like that. I did have one, though. It was like a little puppy love situation or whatever. I did have one. But I don't feel like it hinders my dating life because I, you know, think like a man, and you know what I'm saying. I have, you know, masculine energy. I don't think so. I definitely know how to stand in my feminine energy when I'm in a situation where I feel like my femininity can flourish. And in this most recent relationship, I allowed that, you know, even though there was, you know, a difference in our finances, I still allowed him to lead. I still, you know, allow him to teach me things. There were a lot of things that he brought into the relationship that benefited, you know, me as far as, like, the connections that he had and things like that. So my mouth intimidates men, not my energy, my mouth. Okay, so I'm gonna mix these two to make my foundation shade. And I will say, y'all, like, around the concealer area, the eye area, it's looking a little splotchy. But mixing these two together is definitely giving what it needs to give. You just gotta keep going, dipping back into the palette. So it definitely is gonna be some cross-contamination going on. You might want to spray this bad boy down with alcohol after each use, because you have to keep going into the palette to, you know, add product. How do you balance being in the public eye when you're going through it? You know, it comes with the job. You know what I'm saying? Like, I chose this career of, you know, sharing my life, and because I do lifestyle vlogs, it's my job, you know what I'm saying? So it's not my job to be extremely transparent as I've been, but I have, you know, I still got work I got to get done. I still got brand deals that need to be, you know, delivered and fulfilled and stuff like that. And this is my content. Lifestyle content is my content. If it was anything different and I was getting deals for a different type of content, then you know, but I do lifestyle content. So yep, I just gotta get up and go to work just like anybody else. You know what I'm saying? I don't really have time to soak and sit in my feelings and be depressed because I still have work that I have to get done. So it's not a matter of just how I deal with it. Is I have to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll reach out to my manager and, you know, let her know, hey, I'm not feeling too well this month, or, you know, or this week, not this month, because girl, I let her know that I'm not feeling too well this week, and, you know, can we push some deals and stuff like that? And they work with me and the brands work with me, but at the end of the day, I still have to, you know, get work done. Like Glorilla says, at the end of the day gotta end. So once that day ends, you know, we move on to the next day. If I'm still in my feelings, if I'm still depressed, then, you know, I move from there. I go from there, but I can't sit in it forever. You know, at some point you got to move on. You know, like Albert Einstein says, in order to stay balanced, life is like riding a bike. In order to stay balanced, you got to keep moving. So, you know, I sit in it. I deal with it. I think about it. I cry. I'm a human. You know what I'm saying? I am not a superhero. I know I know a lot of people look at me as they shero, but girl, I'm not nobody hero. Maybe my daughter's. I'm probably hers, but yeah, you just gotta keep on moving. You gotta keep on moving. It is what it is. And I hate saying the phrase "it is what it is" sometimes, because it could be a very narcissistic way to deal with things. Almost kind of like dismissive, you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. You gotta deal with it and move on, you know? The next question is, how did you get to where you are today? So, I have to start off with, you know, the fact that I stepped out on faith and I left Memphis. Leaving Memphis was it was a big part of me getting to where I am now, because I knew I wanted more for myself, and I had like sank down into a depression being back home, because, you know, when I left, I moved to San Diego, and then I end up coming back. And you see that a lot in Memphis. Like, people will leave Memphis and end up coming back, and it's almost like if you can leave and make it where you go, then you good, because when coming back is almost kind of looked at as like a failure. Like, oh, okay, she moved away and she ended up having to come back. So that's how I felt with, you know, after I got out the military and stuff like that, and I ended up moving back. I was just so sad all the time and depressed, because I knew that wasn't where I wanted to be. But, you know, when I got pregnant with Kyron, and I knew that my marriage was going to eventually end because I was going to leave him because of the abuse, I knew I needed that support system. So I was like, you know, I'm not gonna be able to be a single mom by myself in another city. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need somebody to be able to watch her when I gotta work overtime and stuff like that. Like, I just needed that support system. So, you know, the plan was to wait till she got a certain age and then we would move, right? But, you know, it just didn't work out that way. It didn't happen the way I planned. And when I saw the opportunity to come to Dallas, I visited here one time and I was like, oh, okay, I really like it here. So when I saw the opportunity to leave, I was like, yeah, I gotta go. So now I'm gonna bronze, and I'm actually using that same concealer brush that I use right up in here, and I'm gonna bronze up my cheeks and forehead. Like, y'all, this is just so creamy. Like, don't be intimidated by this palette at all, because it's so easy to just blend in and move around. So please don't be intimidated by this palette. I'm really impressed so far. And then I'm taking this little brush, and I got these brushes off of Amazon. So yeah, once I saw the opportunity to move to Dallas, I was like, okay, it's time to go. That was 2016, summer 16, one of the best summers. And I'm not gonna lie, like, I could have went back to Memphis because when I first moved here, it wasn't going the way I planned. I'm gonna link this brush set in the description box. It's from Amazon, and you get like 24 brushes. You know, I'm a one brush type of girl. I love to do my whole face with one brush, but you get like 24 brushes and they are so tea. So with absolutely nothing, I had $549 or $546. My license was suspended. I was still able to rent a car because they wasn't scanning to check if it was valid or not back then. It was summer 16. I moved out of my townhome. I packed everything in a storage, and I only brought clothes and makeup. At the time, one of my friends was living here, and she was like, Peyton, move to Dallas, da 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 da. I had already visited Dallas and I liked it so much. I knew that I would flourish as a project manager here because it was so much construction going on, and at the time I had just been laid off of my job working as a project manager in construction. So I'm like, all right, boom, I'm finna give myself a promotion and a raise, and I'm finna step out on faith and move to Dallas. So with nothing, with absolutely nothing, bad credit, license suspended, $546, nothing but clothes in a rental truck. I think I rented a Nissan Rogue. I drove here, and I stayed with my friend for like, I think a month or two, and then I moved downtown, like right around the corner from the American Airlines Center. So I did really well. I kept that job until they laid me off, and then I ended up finding another job, and then I lost that job. I got laid off from that job, but I was doing Lyft, I was driving Uber, and I was working as a project manager until I lost my job in 2020 during COVID. But I didn't lose my job to COVID. I lost my job because my supervisor was always picking on me. I went to HR letting them know like what was going on. Like, she was like literally plotting against me, y'all, and they let me go. They let me go instead of letting her go. They let me go. Like, she was telling company business to people that didn't even work there anymore. They let me go. So if you ever have a problem with your supervisor, do not go to HR, because HR is not there to protect you at all. They let me go, baby. But I was cool. I was cool with the guy in HR. He still gave me a really good severance package, and also approved me to get stimulus for unemployment. So I was doing pretty good, living off my severance package and my unemployment for a while. And I was like, you know what, I got this vlogging camera. I've had it since 2017 because I had intended on vlogging years before. Like, I had got a vlogging camera in 2017 to start vlogging when I first moved to Dallas, but I did not like what I was seeing on camera. Like, I just couldn't do it. And I was also going through things that I wasn't sure or not if I wanted to be transparent about on YouTube. So I was like, okay, bump this. I'm just not gonna do YouTube anymore. So I had quit YouTube in 2017. I stopped doing it for 3 years. I didn't upload. And then I came back as a lifestyle vlogger, and one of my first vlogs was that went viral was me going to the rage room after finding out the guy that I had been dating on and off, he confessed to me that he was in a relationship. And I'm looking at him like, this fit to be the person that I'm gonna be with, da 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 da, all that. So me being that transparent and that video going viral really set the tone of, okay, I think that I could do this, you know. And for a while, for a long time, for years, I was really transparent in my relationship woes. But I think we are at the end. we're definitely at the end of that. But yeah, that's basically how I got where I am today. I picked up a camera and I started vlogging my real life. Like, it wasn't cookie cutter. Everything that I did on a day-to-day was exactly what you saw in my videos. I wasn't trying to be like the other girls that I watched, because at that time I was watching Brianna, I was watching Kyra, and I was watching Aaliyah's face, and I looked at their life and I loved their videos, but I was like, I don't know if I can vlog, baby, because I'm not living the lifestyle that they're living. And I admired them, but I knew that it would be different from what my vlogs would be. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, you know what, bump this. I'm just gonna vlog. You know, I'm just gonna do me. I'm not gonna try to be like nobody else. I'm just gonna do me. And shortly after that, Aaliyah ended up shouting me out because she found my vlogs entertaining. And yeah, you know, it just took off from there. A lot of people were shouting me out in the beginning, so you know, I really appreciate all of the shout outs, all of the recommendations. And during that time, YouTube was pushing my videos a lot because I was getting so much engagement. And yeah, that's basically how I got here. Okay, the next question is, would you date interracially? And I'm taking this color of this blush right here, and I'm going to apply it to my cheeks. And I'm using somewhat of the back of the sponge that's a little bit drier, so we can get a little bit more coverage. But I ain't like really a blush girl like that, so I'm gonna blend it out as much as I can, because I don't really like blush like that. But I picked this color because I felt like it would complement my my hair. It's close to the color of my hair, so and we're gonna drag that across the nose. So I have dated interracially. I've dated, you know, white guys. I've dated a Puerto Rican. I've dated, that was in high school. He looked just like John B too. He was so fine, child. I was real proud that I landed him. And then I've also dated a Mexican. When I was in the military, I dated a Mexican. But you know, I love me a good old black man, honey. We love us a black king. Okay, next question. What's the best and worst part about being a new dog mom? Okay, the best, oh, and I love you too. The best part about being a dog mom is having somebody to talk to. Like, now I don't talk to myself. It's definitely having somebody to talk to. The worst part about being a dog mom is just simply not knowing exactly like when to take them outside. Like Preston, learning his bowel movement schedule has been really hard, because sometimes he'll go right after he eat. So we have a lot of accidents in the house because, you know, they say wait 30 minutes and then walk them, right? So sometimes I'll wait 30 minutes and walk him and he won't go. And then as soon as we come back in the house, he'll go in the house. And I'm like, Preston, we just walked for like a good 45 minutes and you didn't go outside. And then sometimes he'll go like literally right after he eats. So we've been having a lot of accidents trying to learn his schedule, his bowel movement schedule. Now peeing, we don't have no accidents. Like, he's good, but bowel movement, yeah. Next question. How do you feel about spinning the block, and would you? Oh, this is a funny question. I don't spin the block because I don't really like, once I'm done with you and I cut you off, I'm done with you. However, I get spinned on a lot. Like, guys that I've dated in the past always come back, and I don't know if it's because they trying to see if they still get access to me, or because they genuinely miss my company and my energy. I don't know, but I get spinned on a lot. What I'll say about it is, for me, it really depends on where I am in my dating life. Like, if I've tried to like date and put myself out there and, you know, meet somebody new and it's just not working out, and I already have this rapport with this person, we've already, you know, been together, and you know what I'm saying, we know each other. We don't have to go through the motions of what's your favorite color and getting to know each other. There have been times where somebody has tried to come back in my life, and depending on where I was in my dating life, I have allowed them to, you know, show me that they were different and things changed. It didn't always work though. It didn't. You know what? As a matter of fact, it never worked. I don't know. Maybe too much powder. It's not looking good, y'all. It's not looking good. So I'm gonna use this to set my set. Moisturize. Give me some hydration, cause it's not looking good. So around the eyes don't look too bad, but on the nose, like it look cakey. It look cakey. I'm not really liking how it's looking on the nose. Now I'm going in with the Smashbox Always Sharp to line my lower lash line. Then I'm gonna go in with the Willy Wonka Chocolate Factory. This is from Glam Light, and this is their liner. So I'm gonna line my lips. I am going to use this same concealer color, and I'm gonna put it right there in the center. And then we're gonna go in with the Willy Wonka gloss. Another TikTok influence product that I could have saved my money on, because this gloss ain't hitting on nothing. They could have kept the liner and the damn gloss. I ain't lying to you. Okay, then we're gonna go in with the Tarte Man Eater mascara. The one on this is huge. So the next question is, were you afraid to rely on content creation for income when you lost your job? I wasn't afraid per se, but I definitely would say that I was nervous because, you know, I was living off my severance package that I had got from losing my job and unemployment. So, you know, when I first picked up the camera, baby, I was still very much, how do I want to do my hair? Do I want to do it? Yeah, I think I'm gonna do it this way today. I was still very much looking for a job, and I was getting those, you know, those emails that, you know, they decided to go with another candidate, but they gonna save my, I do not like this curling iron because it don't hold the hair in when you trying to move it through the hair, and then I always end up burning myself. I was nervous because, you know, I wasn't sure the type of money that I was gonna make. You know what I'm saying? When I first got on YouTube, it wasn't a space to monetize. You know, it was just a hobby for a lot of us. We was doing makeup tutorials and doing all this stuff for free and getting free product. You know what I'm saying? So like when they start monetizing our videos, I was making like $245 a month. So knowing that, when I came back to the YouTube space as a lifestyle vlogger, I'm like, well shit, I already know, you know, this ain't finna be no money like that. So I kept trying to find work. Like I was going on interviews and vlogging at the same time, and it was getting to a point where it was, you know, it got to be cumbersome because I was getting those emails, you know, saying that they decided to go with another candidate, and they would keep my resume on file, and I'm like, y'all lying. Y'all ain't gonna keep my resume on file. Y'all, I'm never gonna hear from y'all ever again. What are you talking about? Like, why do y'all gotta lie? And I was vlogging all of that, so it was entertaining for a lot of people because it was realistic, but at the same time, like, I'm like, you know, I'm really not trying to entertain this. Like, oh God, I wasn't even really trying to be entertaining. I'm just naturally funny. But like, baby, I was going through, I was having the blues with something. Like, man, how am I gonna be able to pay my bills and stuff like that? And then I did Vlogmas, and when I did Vlogmas, that was the most money that I had ever made in a month in my entire life. And I was like, oh, so all I have to do is be consistent. You know what I'm saying? That's all I had to do. If I showed up regardless and be consistent, I would do well on YouTube. So once I saw that, because I started vlogging in September of 2020. And by the time I did Vlogmas, I had decided that I was going to completely just walk away from the workforce and do this full time. And it was y'all who put that in my head. You know, I had a lot of people in the comments because, you know, back then, like I had really good engagement back then. I was getting like, I would say I was getting like 500 comments on my videos, and I was also replying to each and every comment. Like, so my engagement was really good because I was also talking to y'all in the comments, and so many people were like, Peyton, I think you should do this full time. You are so entertaining. I love watching your vlogs. Like, you're so real and relatable and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna listen to y'all. I'm gonna listen to y'all, and I'm gonna do this full time, and I'm gonna see where it takes me. And this is where it took me. And I'm like, yeah, when I say I'm so grateful for my tribe, I'm so grateful that y'all accept me. Y'all love me. Y'all love my videos. I'm grateful for every view, every subscribe, because you know, I read the comments when y'all say that I should be at 1 million subscribers. It don't even matter. It don't even matter. I am good with what I have, because I feel like, ooh, child, 1 million subscribers. Baby, this a lot. This a lot. I would love it. I would love to have it, but I'm grateful and I'm thankful for what I have. And I have a loyal, solid tribe of women and men that, you know, love my content. And I'm just happy that I have y'all and what I have. You know what I'm saying? So I know it's kind of cliche because content creators tell, you know, upcoming and inspiring content creators all the time to stay consistent, but that's what consistency showed me. Like when I did Vlogmas the first time, I was consistent. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't doing it every day, but I had uploaded like maybe 8 or 10 videos that month. That was the most money I had ever made in a month, ever in my life. So I was like, oh, okay, all I gotta do is be consistent. Say less. Do you know how appreciated you are by people who only watch you? I do. I get so many comments and DMs. Like, I really be talking to y'all. I've even started talking to y'all in the DMs on TikTok, you know what I'm saying? And so many people are always, you know, telling me how inspiring I am, and you know, how they look up to me and how I've helped them, you know, in their life and things like that, and with, you know, certain life decisions that they've had to make and stuff like that. So I absolutely do. And I like I said, I'm so thankful that I have y'all as my tribe, because y'all changed my life too. Oh, this, I can already tell this hair fit to be real pretty, because I curled it in a different direction than I did the last time I curled it. The last time I curled it away from my face. This time I'm curling it upwards and away from my face. So it should turn out how Deep usually does my hair. Next question is, would you ever get a second dog so Preston can have a playmate? Baby, I ain't have a second child so Cameron can have a sibling, so no. Preston is enough. What kind of dog do you have, and will he get bigger? So Preston is a mini poodle. So right now he's giving toy poodle size, but his mom and his dad are mini poodles, and they're pretty small. So he'll get probably about 10 pounds, but he'll still be a small dog. He'll still be like puppy size, you know what I'm saying? But not toy poodle size. I didn't want to get a toy poodle because I don't know. I feel like I could have got a toy poodle though. And he'll get probably anywhere from like 10 to 12 pounds. Okay, the next question is, would you consider dating an older, mature man who is more settled? Oh, baby, this, so, you know, I'm 42. So, an older, mature man would be in the 50s and 60s. That's a little scary. It sounds a little scary. Baby, older for me would be 45. I'm 42. Older for me would be 45. So, to answer your question now, sis, I'm a little scared. Y'all remember that episode of Sex and the City when Samantha met that billionaire that was having that meeting with Donald Trump? And he was treating her like a queen? And they was getting ready to do it. And he got up and walked to the bathroom. And his booty had wrinkles. and Samantha got on up out of there. Baby, that would be me. That would be me. That would be me. Older for me would be 45. 3 years older than me. That's about it. I can't. Okay, next question. What are some things you've learned as a new homeowner and what tips would you share? So what I have learned as a new homeowner is make sure you have some sort of insulation for rodents, because rats like to set up shop and breed in your attic. Okay? And have you a little stashed away, because that ain't cheap. I don't know why I feel like this side ain't doing the same thing this side was supposed to be doing. Like, am I doing something wrong? Hold on. Another thing is make sure you file for your homestead, and you when they come out, when the county comes out to do your appraisal, if you get a new bill, make sure that they have accurate numbers, like your square footage and stuff like that. You also want to make sure that you have enough saved or set aside, because your taxes are gonna go up. Whatever you paid the first year, they're gonna go up the second year, especially if you got a new build, because depending on when they came out, I think they come out and assess and do the appraisal sometime around January and February. So if your house isn't finished, isn't complete, you'll only pay a small portion of what's actually completed. So you want to have, I mean, it was already factored into my my mortgage anyway, but I noticed that I had a lot left over, and I was like, oh, wait a minute, baby, there's something wrong, because I had already kind of looked at the houses in my neighborhood and what my other neighbors were paying on their taxes, and mine was extremely low, and I'm like, this ain't right. So, you know, I called the county, and they was basically like, oh, is this because when we came out to do the appraisal, the house was only 75% complete. So make sure you have, you know, money set aside for your property taxes the following year. Also, if you get disability, like veterans disability and stuff like that, make sure you file that before April 30th. And yeah, I think that's it. Stay on top of your HOA fees too, because baby, they can take your whole house if you don't pay your HOA fees. And I pays mine in full, and it's on Autopay. All my bills on Autopay. I don't got time for stuff like that. Like, if I know the money ain't mine and don't belong to me, and I gotta pay a bill, I put it on Autopay. Credit cards, mortgage, car payments, everything. It comes out. It's gone before I even see it. So put your bills on Autopay, baby. The money ain't yours. If you know you got a bill, put it on Autopay. Now, I do understand that everybody ain't able to do that, but if you are able to put your bills on Autopay, put your bills on Autopay. Next question, what piece of advice would you give Kyron? Always be your authentic self. There are a tribe of people who will love you no matter what. They will ride for you at dawn no matter what. So always be your authentic self. You don't have to be nobody but who God intended you to be. That's what I always tell her. On top of telling her how pretty and beautiful she is, because that's something that a girl should always know and feel and be told from her mom. I wasn't always told that. I was told that I was bright. Like, I was, my folks always told me how bright I was. But I wasn't told that I was pretty a lot growing up. Which don't make, it don't make me no never mind. Like, it don't bother me that that's not something that I was told. But, you know, validate your kids at home. So when someone else tells them, they don't think that that's all that matters. You know what I'm saying? The next question is, what is something you'd tell your younger self? I would tell my younger self is don't give up. It get greater later. You gonna definitely have some valleys and you're gonna have some peaks. But don't give up, because it get greater later. What inspired your love for fragrances? Only started my collection now and I'm excited. What inspired my love for fragrances was my Auntie Joyce. She used to get dressed up, her and my cousin Jessica, and they was always going out doing stuff. And they would come by the house and she would always smell so good. She wore Halston. If y'all ever remember the fragrance Halston, baby, it was a banger. It's still a banger to this day. I remake Halston, baby, and add some notes to it. I would remake Halston because that was a beautiful fragrance. She always smelled so good. She always kept herself together. And when I got old enough to be able to afford a bottle of perfume, that was one of the first bottles of perfume I bought was Halston, because my Auntie Joyce wore it all the time and I loved how good it smelled. And it I just got to the point where I loved fragrances because I noticed how it would change my mood, just walking around smelling good and somebody telling you how good you smell. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know for a lot of people it's my favorite compliment, and I know for a lot of people it's their favorite compliment as well. Like somebody telling you how good you smell. Like, you could tell me I'm pretty all day, I know that, but when I spray my perfume on, hearing confirmation from someone else that it smells good on me, it just makes me feel so good. So that's how I end up growing a love for fragrances. And I just like to smell good. I think everybody should want to smell good, baby. Don't nobody need to be walking around stinking. The next question is, do you see yourself doing YouTube forever? Just curious. Girl, no, I'm planning my exit. I'm telling you, listen. After this little debacle that just happened, I'm planning my exit. Just know. But when I leave, I'm going to shake the table a little bit. Before I leave that last video, I am going to shake the table a little bit. Because people been trying me, child. They have been trying me. So when I leave, I'm going to shake the table a little bit. I'm just letting y'all know I'm going to shake the table. I don't know if it's going to be this year or next year, but I'm going to shake the table before I leave. Are you expecting the pool this summer? I absolutely am. I'm actually waiting on a phone call from this one place now, because I really like their work on their website. So, I don't know, maybe I should just call them, because I put in an inquiry for them to call me online, and I don't know, I guess those people really just don't answer those little inquiries, those little contact forms online. Maybe they don't answer them like that because they ain't called me yet. So maybe I should just call them, because I put it in over the weekend when they weren't at work. But yeah, I'm hoping that my pool will be done by September, where I can at least get a couple of swims in before it starts getting cold. Okay, the next question is, what are some of your personal goals for 2025, and did you have to reset any of your goals? So no, I didn't have to reset any of my goals, and my personal goals for 2025 is to go ahead and start getting the fragrance house off the ground. So we're gonna have to do some traveling and finding production facilities that will be able to fill my bottles. And then I want my Rolls Royce. I really want my Rolls Royce. I've been looking at some places in Africa. Like I would really love to buy a home in Kenya. It's like a little insider flex there for me. So definitely want to do that. And yeah, get my privacy back, walk away from YouTube, and you know, live a private, happy life offline. You know, whatever I share, it will be something quick and short, and it won't be, you know, it won't be lifestyle content. I think I still do my fragrance videos here and there, but walk away from lifestyle content and get my privacy back. That's one of my personal goals. It's been a personal goal for a while too. What's a place you've never been but always wanted to visit? Africa. Africa, yes indeed. So I'm just gonna flip this because I flipped it the other day and it turned out to be so cute. So this is the Dola hair edge controller. First time using it. Probably won't be the last because it's looking like it's gonna do what needs to be done. Tell me how you set your abroad travel up. Do you use a travel agent or a service like Travelocity? I do it all on my own. I don't use any travel agencies or anything like that. I do it all on my own. I usually book my hotels through Expedia, and I book my flights on Google. So I just type in Dallas to whatever, and it'll pop up, you know, all the different flights available. So yeah, that's how I book my travel. And then the excursions, I typically do the excursions on Viator. Alright, so we are all done and the hair is taking it, honey. How you can't say. Okay, so what are my thoughts on the Makeup Forever HD Skin Face Essentials palette? I like the palette. Looking at my skin in the magnifier, I do feel like around my nose area there are a lot of dry patches. So when you use this product, make sure that you are extremely moisturized, and maybe even add a little face oil to your skin as well. That way this will glide on better and it won't have those dry patches, because I do see dry patches around my nose. Anywhere else on the skin it looks good. I won't say it looked like skin. It's not my favorite. Like, I have some favorite foundations. I do think that this would be a great palette to travel with. You can do your whole face with this palette. You can, absolutely. But would it be my go-to? Would it be my holy grail? No, not for me, not for my skin. I'm not getting a lot of coverage that I would get in from like other foundations. Once you add powder, it does look, I don't know, it's not the most flattering for mature skin, you know. If you have imperfections, if you have freckles, if you have moles, if you have blemishes, if you have pimples, because this is a cream palette, it will probably highlight those problem areas for you. So I would not say that I would recommend this palette if you are dry or if you have like certain skin imperfections. Like if you have just perfect skin, you can use this with your fingers and apply, rub it in with a little moisturizer and go. This is a great on the go palette. This is a great travel palette, but I would not say this is a holy grail palette for me. Not for me. I wouldn't say that. So is it worth the $80? In my honest opinion, I feel like I wasted money because I wouldn't typically grab this even if I'm traveling with it, I wouldn't typically grab this, but I do want to try it one more time, and that video probably will be on TikTok, where I moisturize a little bit better, use a face oil before I apply this, and see how it applies that way. So definitely follow me on TikTok at Iampeytoncharles, and we will be doing another review on it with a different application method, because today's application, while it is pretty, like I said, I'm just not extremely flattered with the way it looks around my nose. It's dry patches, it's kind of like flaky, and it's not flattering. It's not flattering at all. So that is the end of the chit chat. Get ready with me. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking the video. Thank you for sending in questions, being respectful. And thank you for being a part of the tribe and the network and being a PayPal. I love y'all so much, and I will see you in another video soon.